No, I'm on the previous consultation we held with the CIBRA. In this case, our CIBRA is UNBS as the major cross-border regulatory agency. And the AO team, Uganda, held a one-on-one forum. And in this case, the RPM made a presentation whereby UNBS attended, and we had other regulators like Ministry of Trade, Ministry of Agriculture, and other CIBRAs. And the RPM made a presentation, and they pledged to support the program. Then earlier on, the AO team had a meeting specifically with our major CIBRA, in this case, which is UNBS, and they pledged the following. In the meeting, we agreed that there will be information exchange between customs and UNBS. And on this case, we are counting on the new system, which is Ascuda World, integrating the two systems so that we can easily communicate or share the information. Then we also agreed to work hand in hand to simplify the import inspection procedures. That is UNBS working hand in hand with customs to specifically simplify the procedures for inspection for only the AO.
Actually, here maybe the explanation is like this.
We can suggest procedures that can simplify the imports inspection process, and they will agree to it. Like they were the ones who came up with the idea that they can release under seal to proceed to the owner's premises, then they follow up and inspect from there. So that was the principle that was agreed on, that yes, in principle, whatever works will be done.
Then we also agreed to have a contact person to deal with the AEOs. That is on the sake of the CIBRA.
This is at the administration level? You agreed up to administration level or just?
Yes, it was up to after the administration level.
Operators business, they mainly deal in manufacturing of household plastics and pens, but they also deal in raw materials, in that they import raw materials for the pens and the plastic production. Then they also do select clearance. They have a warehouse and they do their own clearance. Then they also trade majorly from Saudi Arabia, Thailand, Yemen, Taiwan, and China. Then they also do exportation, but exportation in the EAC member states and DRC and Congo, Sudan.
This is self-clearance. This company does self-clearance.
Yeah.
But Uganda also has got an agent as part of the operator. Okay? This is something that we are sharing in this room that we need to agree on, or you could have it at the back of your mind. That's something that we could discuss further. In the event that the agent doesn't do business with this importer, okay, how are we going to manage that agent? Because definitely he's an agent. We have certified or given the AEO certificate, but then he's clearing goods that are not for this importer, because this importer is self-clearing. I really need us to share this.
That is, I thought for us to be a little bit systemic. Okay, like, we didn't marry an agent AEO and an operator AEO, or basically an agent AEO will be having 2 companies of AEO, and he has got another 60 companies which are non-AEO. We cannot interfere with the business, but the ones we are following here, where we want declaration, is the AEO companies. The business is going to deal with those ones. I know we'll deal with it as we go along, because in fact, even when we started in Kenya, it became a problem until we said, no, we want the operator. Who is the operator? It is HACO. Now, who is clearing for you? In time. In time, you are clearing for HACO. Yes, we want to look at HACO business. only. If HACO is going, if that agent is going to clear for the others, we don't want to go to that territory yet.
For the national program, what we were looking at was designing benefits that can benefit the agent without necessarily the agent having to maybe delegate that benefit to a non-authorized person.
These issues have been always raising. You know the incidents in Rwanda where we had to check off Brandwa because of SDB. So I'm not seeing, I can't imagine how we are coming now to think that we should design on the behalf of the agents the benefits that must facilitate them in business. I'm telling you, when we enter this whole business as we are looking at AEO, the logic of this is to have people complying. That is what we are enforcing. Because if we don't see, we are moving from the customs of police to customs of compliance. Once we start rolling out, these people will be forced to do what? To comply. And we have seen it with other benefits, other facilities we are providing on the national level, all of us at our national level. You start something and people are like reluctant, but when it works out, everyone wants to join that facility. And he or she is forced to comply. So, for my fellow Ugandans, I would advise that let us not lose focus. Whoever is willing to comply should comply. If someone is not willing to take a clearing agent that has been picked on AEO, then that is not our customer. We should look at another person who is willing.
So operator commodity, as earlier stated, they deal in manufacturing of plastics, so they have plastic granules that they import, acids for batteries and electrodes. The Bureau of Standards informs customs about items that have been brought in by the operator through manual processing. And
what do you mean by manual? Do they write a template?
yeah, they write a template.
Do you have a template and they told you on the phone, or what is manual?
They write a
What happens is that the importer or his agent is supposed to fill detailing what they are bringing.
It is the second point. When Kaga raised the communication inspection, the operator makes a declaration that is with customs. Then this is where the form comes in. He fills in an inspection form with UNBS, that template where it shows the details of the goods that are coming in. So then, if the items are selected for customs control, then the customs does a joint control with UNBS. Then if the item is not selected by customs for control, then UNBS proceeds to carry out a control. Then at the last point, UNBS shares the results of its inspection with customs by attaching the form they are signed on the entry. So on reporting is done in writing. Remember, there is a form that UNBS has certified that the items are okay. So they raise to customs and operator about the results of the inspection. We have a contact person with the operator who is in charge of customs issues. That is Betty. So that is all.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to present the guidance procedures for the company. The operator is Global General Merchants. The operator chooses procurement and local clearance as AO benefits. It's a low-risk company. It's already in Blue Channel. That means that the cargo, when it comes to customs, we only remove the seal, then it continues to the client premises. Yeah. So for consultations with Seabras, we conducted some consultation at the pilot sites, which are Rusumo, Kanyango, and Gatuna. and we met